Good morning from Panhandle Outdoors, America's only daily outdoor TV show. Your source for fishing, hunting, and information for folks who enjoy the great outdoors. Now sit back, relax. It's Panhandle Outdoors.
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Panhandle Outdoors. I'm Winston Chester. I appreciate your viewership and have a good week here. And hope you get ready for a good weekend. Getting outdoor activities. There's so much stuff going on. It's crazy. But let's get started with our weather. Brought to us by Gulf Coast Air Conditioning, Drew Pollard and hardworking crew, taking care of everyday comfort needs, and it's hot. You see, it's just hot all over the southeast, and it's going to get high today. 91, the heat index, they're saying, is over the 100 in the Florida Panhandle, so just be aware of that. We talk about that a lot, and it's August, and that's to be expected. Low 78. Looking at our water temperature, brought to us by my Rancho Coffee Company. Miss Ariel Payne and her company. I'm going to get her back on and talk about all the things they do. It's amazing at what they do. It really is. 88 degrees water temperature. A lot of us will be jumping in the water tomorrow. It's going to be warm tomorrow morning in St. Joe Bay. So be aware of that. River readings brought to us by the good folks at Panama City Coca-Cola. How about the Apalachicola at Bluntstown? 8.5, pretty steady. It's going to drop out a little bit down the line. And then Choctawhatchee, Caryville, 4.1, and like we said yesterday, it's going up a little bit. Nothing major, nothing drastic, just some little bit of rising water there, and a little bit of falling out water on the big river. Take a look at our tide chart brought to us by Kent Forest Lawn. Today's the 15th, and we're back in the good tides right here. High tide is 219 this morning, and low is 223 this afternoon. Exactly about 12 hours and 4 minutes difference right there. So, and the wind now is going to be coming out of west-northwest at about 5 to 10, so it's gradually shifting around from yesterday. It'll be more of a northwest tomorrow, looks like. Never exact science. Take a look at our fishing game times brought to us by Blue Water Outriggers in Port St. Joe. 4:42 to 6:42 this morning, and this evening from 5:10 to 7:10. And like I say, the wind should not be a big factor in any of our outdoor activities. 5 to 10 looks like. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. First things first, let's go and talk about this. So I'll make sure I get it in here, because once I start showing pictures and telling stories, most of the time I don't finish what I planned the night before. Scallop season opens tomorrow, and we're well aware of what's going on, but we won't go over the limits at all. But before we do that, you know the basic rules about having the flags and all that, and we'll cover that, but let's go over the limit, because a lot of people still get confused on it, because it has changed over the years several times. It used to not even be a limit. Okay, but here, take a look at this right here. The daily bag limit, okay, right here, blow it up. 2 gallons of whole scallops in the shell per person, with a maximum of 10 gallons per vessel. And hopefully we're gonna have 5 people on our boat, and hopefully we'll get 10 gallons. Or, okay, you can possess up to a half gallon of shucked scallop meat, okay? That's the 4 pints. Here's more detail. 2 gallons of whole bay scallop, or in the shell, or the 1 pint of shucked meat, okay? That, make sure you know the difference, because it doesn't come out. The daily vessel limit, you would think would be more, but it's 4 pints to shuck them out. That's interesting. And so that's a big deal right there. And you got to have a valid Florida recreational saltwater fishing license, unless you're on a chartered trip, of course. So I just wanted to go over the official rules, and I wanted to, we're all excited about it. We talk about it a lot, and it's just, it's always been a big thing with our family. Gail and I were talking early part of the week and started adding up numbers. This will be our 54th summer of scalloping in St. Joe Bay. We've gone every opening weekend except the weekend when it opened in 1989. I lost my brother the week before. We didn't go to the opening weekend, but it's just special to us. And our kids have grown up holding on to our legs. Our grandkids grown up holding on to our legs while we're swimming and all. So it's been special, and it's been. I know a lot of y'all are the same way. Just been doing a lot of it, and we're going to take a little flounder rig if we're seeing a flounder. And we're always looking out for sharks and all that, but it's just a lot of fun, and we've always loved it. Make sure you check out. Over the years, I've changed masks, but I still like that one big glass mask. Okay, and we'll be talking more about it next week and see. I will say this, the reports I've gotten from some reliable people that scallop a lot, they scouted last weekend, people ask me all the time, what's the report? The reports I have received are very good, okay? On 1 to 5, I'm not gonna give you a number until I get out there and look at it tomorrow. But the person I talked to, 2 different people, said they looked like there was gonna be a good number the first weekend anyway. There's gonna be a lot of people. Be careful, try to keep distance in between you and the other folks, but I don't know anymore if that's gonna happen or not. Okay, let's jump on and move on to other things too. I'll be telling more stories. Bill Dance, you know how we just like Bill Dance. It's simple as that. Bill Dance is just a cool guy, and always has been. And I showed you pictures of him back in the early days catching fish. And he went on the Mega Bucks catfish tournament over in Vicksburg, Mississippi. So you know that's on the Mississippi River. He caught the largest one, blue cat ever, 110 pounder. He was 40 miles up the river from Memphis, Tennessee. So he right there in Mississippi, 110 pounder. And he said, how could I ever forget that special moment in time 10 years ago? To my surprise, he goes on to say, some friends of his, they presented me with an exact, and I say the word exact, replica of that 110 pounder. Read his reaction. It's been a long time since I got choked up and was at a loss for words. Receiving this gift is one of the happiest moments of my life, except when I met my wife, Diane. This detailed replica looked just like the real thing. Today, it's about to go on display at the entrance of the Bass Pro Shops right there, that pyramid right there in Memphis. Okay, so anyway, take a look at this picture. Okay, there, 110 pounder. Are you talking about exact replica? Is he not proud of that? Look at that, folks. And like he said, he got choked up. One of the best gift he's ever gotten. And whoever the taxidermist, he mentioned his name, but wow. So I've always wanted to go to that Bass Pro Shop there, the pyramid, and that makes me even want to go even more to see that big old catfish that Bill Dance caught. So if you're up in that area, but anyway, is that not good outdoor stuff right there? Okay, all right, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Got a lot of stuff to go over. I'm already way behind, so let's get started. Billy Grantham shared this. This is cool. Billy's always good about sharing these pictures. Tell folks in Jackson, Holmes, and Washington counties to be careful. I said, will do. I said, now that's a little one. Check this out. Is that a little one? Look at that little thing right there. And he said, yeah, it's little, but if you try to catch it, you never could, because they can dart around all over the place. But that's a good picture there. And you know, that's a late season fawn right there, but the spot's still on. Thank you, Billy Grantham, country cousin. All right, with the school starting, and if your kids go to Mosley, they're having their organizational meeting for the Bassmasters team. It'll be August the 19th at 6:30. They're gonna meet in the library. I don't know why they're not gonna meet in the outdoor education room. Probably because they don't have rooms, that many kids doing it. So I'm real proud of Mosley for doing that. I'd love to see the other schools. Y'all just you don't have to have that many, of course, but get together, put a little team together. That little summer league they had was awesome. They had the best, most fun. From a kid from Vernon, Bozeman, Weewall. All right, this is nothing local, but this is just fascinating here. This is up at Ocean City. I have a thing for this. Ocean City is Maryland. That's where some of the first fishing reels were built. And they were called Ocean City. So I always want to see the word Ocean City. I've never been there, but anyway, this guy won $3.9 million, and all he did, he just called it, look, a 72-pound white marlin. That's all it was, 72-pound white marlin. But he goes on to talk about, this is a local guy, went to high school there. I thought that was so cool. But anyway, that's quite a pot right there. So I want to share that with you. Monday's coming up, but hey, Mondays wouldn't be so bad if they started at a boat ramp. Ain't that the truth? All right, tonight, okay, at First United Methodist Church downtown, 6 o'clock, Ken Paramore at Bay County Long Beard will be putting on their, it's just a great banquet they have there, good food, good fellowship, and great prizes. Look at this right here. The Gun of the Year raffle. There are 50 numbered calls to be sold throughout the state, and these are different things, different guns and all. That's the gun of the year. So try to participate in that. I was thinking of that. We got that going on. We got Scallop season opening up. We have Buckmasters up there in Montgomery, and there was a couple other little things going on too this weekend. And I was trying to think, why is it so busy? Because it's the end of the summer, school's starting back, everybody's squeezing it in before football season starts. Everybody's real busy, so that's why everything's going on now. And it's just it's a good time of the year. Even in August, it's just a lot of outdoor stuff. Okay, we're always talking about deer mounts and different unique deer mounts, and putting the deer head in the corner of the room and looking down. And there's been all kind of creative displays of deer mounts. This one right here is fascinating. Check this out. And this guy said, I have seen hundreds of deer mounts, but I believe this tops them all. Now picture this. This is on the wall. This is a tailgate of the truck. Okay, that's a truck tailgate. It's got half the deer. Is that not so a replica, so unique? He's got the boots on the right-hand corner of and of course on the left, he's got a case of beer. Well, I don't like that kind of stuff, but some people do that. But that's such a realistic mount. Even the tail lights, the tailgate and everything, that's good. That's very unique, very creative. And then family pictures above it. Okay. Fish bites. We know the story behind them. We helped them out a lot, but I just want to go over this again. Now it's world renowned. When we talk to them, we help them get started, honestly, in the Panhandle. And St. Augustine is their home. Remember, Gail and I drove down there and got to visit with them, the family. They're right there at the plant. They invited us down there. But see that word right there in the center? Those two words, the original scented baits. Okay, so it's been really good. So what has happened? They've been copied by some other people in this area. Been copied. And they got away with it because they made they had a patent on it, but these folks made it a little bit thicker, and they got around it, and it's called, and even the packaging was the same way. But anyway, they're all the original, so I would encourage you to use fish bites and not any of the knockoff brands. Okay, here we go. Next weekend, the third annual James Grant Memorial Bass Tournament, and guaranteed $3,000. I say next weekend, I'm sorry, that's September the 6th. At White City Landing. So y'all know the story there. That's a great place to fish out of. If you don't have any gas in your truck and you got to go fishing, how about that? Okay, this is a different one. This is Mississippi man, because we talked about Louisiana man last week, and that's the guy that people knew him. His daughter was talking about. Read that first sentence. Basil Kennedy's daughter said he scraped his leg on his boat trailer in Bay St. Louis early last month. Once it really took hold in the leg, I mean, we were just watching it swell, blister, fluid, everything except from flesh-eating bacteria. So he died. This was last month, but I just ran across it of the flesh-eating bacteria. But anyway, you stop thinking about putting boat trailers in and out. And I think about the St. Joe ramp right there at State Park. You got the oyster shells. You always got stuff around salt water. But that was Bay St. Louis, and some of Walter's family lived there. And that back in that backside is sort of like Apalachicola Bay. It's sort of stagnant kind of water. It moves a little bit, but that was the bay water like that. Okay, let's move on. Okay, let me see. I got all kinds of pictures. Let's go to this one right here. Stan Kirkland sent this from his grandson. He said, after a basketball game late yesterday, our grandson Lane caught this fine bass about dark last night in a neighborhood pond. Caught and released, Stan. And then I replied to Stan, I said, it don't get much better than that. Basketball and bass. Good job. So I've seen a lot of young people like that age fishing now. Here's a picture of it. Big old grin on the face. I know that was fun. Let's see. Heather Crows, we're going to talk about her later. She's with the Auburn group. Terry DeFee. Terry, get your fly rods out. There's a hatch going on. Okay, look. This is there's a hatch all during the summer, even late summer. And this is a mayfly that we talk about a lot. and it's going to, you can always notice by the tail. They don't live very long, but if you get up under a tree like that, Carl Andrews, we need to start looking for them. Late summer hatch, and I know Jerry Forehand does. Okay, let me look and see what else I got, Jeff. I got all kind of pictures here that I want to get. I'll make sure get them called in. I do want to point out the FWC meeting this week. It did pass. Lane Stevens posted this. I just want to show you this picture. These are the hunters in favor of the bear hunt. It did pass, and the bear hunters, they're well represented there. Well represented. That was up in Havana. This was on Wednesday, and they took it up there. So that did pass, and it'll be a detailed. It's going to be highly regulated, but it did pass. So, and then I got a bunch more pictures. We'll catch up on them on Monday show. But let's get ready for our drawing. Before we do the drawing, I have some folks that are still sending in names, and you can do that. We'll still put them in there. And be honest, we running low. All these right here. Let me see. All these are the winners. Okay, I put these winners in this little container there. Let's add Jonathan Pike from Lynn Haven, Doug McClendon. I don't know where Doug's from. He's somewhere around here. And how about Ron Bartlett from Lynn Haven? Now, if you somehow text me your name or something, I haven't called it out, do it again. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with messages, which I'm glad, and sometimes I say, I'm gonna go back to it, and I just keep on scrolling, and I forget to go back to it. I don't know, y'all probably do the same thing. All right, here we go. How about a fried mullet place from Gene's Oyster Bar, right there in the historic Millville. And the winner is gonna be Greg Ward from Ebro. So Greg, y'all drive on down and get you that fried mullet plate. It'll be fresh mullet, I guarantee you. It'll be good. All right, $20 gift certificate to Tarpon Rock Seafood, and pulling out the winner from Lynn Haven, Mike Edwards. How about old Mike? I know Karen's gonna pick out what y'all want to eat tonight. And the Big Red Snapper. Mike's waited all year to win that. Big Red Snapper, Joseph Deal. And Joseph is from Lake Jackson in Florala, Alabama, and Fannin Bayou in Southport. He's one of our guys that comes back and forth, which is a great setup there to get the best of both worlds. Florala, Alabama, and Southport. All right, Joe Deal. There's the winners right there. So let's take a quick break, come back with our famous Friday fishing forecast. Welcome back, and welcome to Famous Friday Fishing Forecast, brought to us by Jessica Lean Insurance and Financial Group, and we appreciate their support here. And some of y'all touched base with me this week about sponsoring. We'll just let us know, and we'll be glad to get out and talk to you and show you what we have. Also, I wrote this down last night. It has nothing to do with the fishing forecast, but I just thinking about all the feedback I get and all the people I run into, and our viewing audience. And I'm thinking that these three phrases right here. This is real life that we talk about, real people, and real outdoors. I'm going to put that in a slogan or something. So anyway, let's move on to with our report. Let's start with J.B. Hillard over in Choctawhatchee River. He's not talking about brim at all. Somebody asked about, one of these newbies asked about where to catch redfish, and his reply was, and he's an expert on it, there's redfish up in the Choctawhatchee River, right there at the mouth of it. So they're up in our river system, upper end of Apalachicola. Redfish are there, pretty strong, and just move around and find those schools, and you'll have a good fun on that. I'll bring up tilapia. That came up in one of my conversations this week. On tilapia, they're in Lake Seminole. They're also in Maris Mill Pond. The FWC wants you to catch all you can and get them out of there. They're pretty good to eat. They really are. That meat is sort of a white meat. I don't care about them myself because they're not native. That's why FWC wants you to catch them and get them out of there. They're non-native species, but they're, a lot of restaurants, I promise you, a lot of restaurants are serving tilapia, and there's nothing wrong with that. I don't like it, I guess because it's non-native. Moving on, speaking of Apalachicola Bay, they were fishing off the bridge there, some folks were the other day, of St. George Island on that side over there, and they were watching, he said a 5-gallon bucket, if he had a 5-gallon bucket full, he could catch a crab, Florida blue crab, just floating on top of the surface. When they're doing that, they're just floating with the tide, and their crabbing is really good this time of year. So I wrote down blue crabs, good. Also, flounder, late summer flounder gigging. The water is going to be okay, but it's going to start clearing up even more. Flounder gigging is going to be good, and flounder catching. Also mullet. I marvel at mullet. I always marvel at mullet. We talk about it, tarpon going up like this, mullet go up like that. But they're all jumping, and I guess as outdoorsmen, when you see that action, that it sort of stimulates you to do something about it. Go catch them with a net, or try to catch them with the tarpon, like Carter Myers. Really enjoyed having him on yesterday. Wasn't he exciting? He was just as though that teenage freshness as far as being excited about catching fish, and you just can't put that in a bottle. Also, the pier fishing. I ain't got a lot of reports from the pier. Last week I caught some king out of it. Surf fishing, the the catfish. I've been catching a lot of catfish. The grass has been a little more grass this summer than we've had in a while, according to these folks that have been fishing. A lot of folks, especially down over St. George Island and the Cape San Blas area. Bass fishing. I've been mentioning the bass fishing because you saw the video we had this week of these young people catching bass. That's the thing about catching. Deer Point Lake is one of the most challenging lakes there is to catch bass. There are a lot of other places better fishing for bass fishing, like Wimico and all. Let's go down. I hadn't mentioned Wimico in a while. Okay, here we go right here. That's in White City. They're going to be doing a lot of stuff out of White City. And you go down the canal and you hit Wimico. And Wimico is a unique lake. You catch all kinds of stuff in it, but you got to be careful. Actually, this is weird because the center part of Lake Wimico is the shallow part. And I fished with a lot of folks and everything there. So Depot Creek is, I hadn't mentioned Depot Creek this summer, but I can promise you there's been some good fish caught out of there. Late summer, like I just showed the mayfly, late summer fly fishing is going to be good. It's sort of, you want to go in the afternoons or early morning while it's cool, but the fly fishing is good. Let's see, I think I've covered everything. The tilapia, like I say, catch all the tilapia. We've about covered everything. We've had a good week here on the show. Some good guests. We've got some good guests coming on next week. I enjoyed the Cernia coming on Eastern Shipbuilding, talking about the history and all the good things they do and building boats around here and catching fish. Got to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching the show. We appreciate the viewership. Do something good for someone else this weekend. Enjoy the outdoors, and let's take care of it. God bless.
Thanks for watching America's only daily outdoor TV show, Panhandle Outdoors with Winston Chester, featuring hunting, fishing, and other activities and information to help you enjoy the great outdoors. Join us next time for Panhandle Outdoors.